Hello. Today's April 15th, 2024. Today there's two parts to the title, Treading Water, Inner Dialogue, and I think that for me as of late, they've been pretty connected, and I think for most people, they are too, because I know everything, of course. But, treading water, it's a sentiment we kind of, or more so in metaphor, we use to describe how life feels sometimes. In the most direct sense, someone's treading water when they're just, like in the ocean swimming. But you're not floating. It's not easy going. And that's sort of the way life has been feeling for me lately. I was talking to my friend last night at work. Just like this semester, it's just been a lot more difficult for me to go up against and really take charge and perform, I would say. Like, I have good grades still, but last semester I just felt more energized. And, the same applies to work, and life just feels like there's always something else I've got to be conscious of and do. And, that's just how being busy is, I suppose. But either way, I think this is a way that many of us feel. Like, I want to start writing my talk that I have in less than 2 weeks now. I want to keep writing for my own, creative pursuit. And, school or work always just gets in the way of that. There's always something else. Or even just life itself with other things like a car needing repair or something like that. So, I just feel as if I've been treading water. And this is where the inner dialogue part comes in. I feel as if the very fact that I am thinking to myself, hey, you're treading water right now, things aren't going the greatest. I feel as if the very fact that I am thinking that is a result of, it is a result of my inner dialogue. That's not profound, but the point I'm trying to make is that the inner dialogue sort of creates situations. Everything that I've just described to you, yes, there are some external facets in the real world, like I'll have to show up to a test next week and whatnot. Those are very real, but the way that I feel about it is obviously mental. It doesn't really exist. It's not discoverable like out in the savannah or something like that. So, the inner dialogue portion to all of this is key. And I was talking to my girlfriend about this last week. I think I was just struggling to get into the gym or something. I was taking a while, and I went and did it, and so much of that is down to what we tell ourselves. And so that's why I'd like to highlight this just idea is these two things are very, very related, and it's most definitely difficult to sort of reconcile your inner dialogue with your schedule or whatever else it may be. It's hard to make it so that you train yourself to think this is easy or whatnot. Completely lost my train of thought, but I think you get the idea here. It's more about what we think about than the actual things themselves. That's the whole point. And there's a Seneca quote which I feel as if I've probably mentioned before on this channel. We often suffer more in imagination than in reality. And that's the thing here. Is being busy suffering? Not really. There's just a lot on your plate, and in some capacities I prefer being busy. It's just it shifts and it changes. There's other times where I'd much prefer not to be busy so that I can write for my own reasons rather than school reasons or something like that. So that's really about it today. It's a Monday, so we're just starting this week. That's sort of what I'm going to be aiming to do and to, it's almost a car crash, what I'm going to be aiming to improve. There was no journal yesterday just because those Sunday shifts, the all-day shifts, 11, 12 hours sometimes, for the fact that I have school early in the morning on Mondays, it's a really tough turnaround. And I'm not trying to seem like I'm endorsing self-pity, but it's hard. But yeah, perhaps I shouldn't be thinking about it that way. Thinking about it, the fact that I'm lucky I get to go to school and work, so there's all of that. And at the end of the day, all this is just hoping to and aiming to shift and change perspective. Because the busyness and what I actually do isn't changing, it's perspective. And I don't know, I think we start to realize that perspective is a big deal. Like, as we grow up, how you think about things might be more important than the things themselves. But then you start to grow up and you get busy, and then it's, things get perpetuated, and you don't have as much time for a wholehearted perspective change as when you were younger. Because when I was younger, I feel as if, just very cynical at some points and pessimistic, and then perspective change, and I had the time to do it. It's more of a challenge now when there's less time to focus on your mental patterns, but at the end of the day, there are still the same amount of hours in the day, more or less, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't want to endorse pull yourself up by your own bootstraps type of ideology, but I don't think that's what I'm doing here anyways, because overarching all that I said is the USA economy and capitalist model, but of course I'll always bring that up. So yeah, today I've just gone to class, and that's been it so far. I've read a little bit as well, but yeah, after class I'm gonna go to the gym, and I've got to help my girlfriend edit just a smaller video, so there's that. And yeah, that'll be the rest of my day. So I hope your Monday's going well. It's beautiful outside where I am. I hope it's beautiful where you are. Peace and love.